Hello, my name is Gian Luca Gardini, and I would like to talk to you briefly today about a few proposals for a functional European Union, Latin America, and the Caribbean agenda, a functional agenda, but with an underpinning political design. What I mean by that? I mean that political dialogue and the political agenda of any kind of interregionalism is complex and difficult, and it generally results in mega summits. In the case of EU, Latin America, and the Caribbean relations, this summit system is actually taking place under the framework of the EU-LAC mechanism. But we haven't had such a high-level, top-level summit for the last 8 years. So if we want to relaunch this density, this intensity of relations between the EU and Latin America and the Caribbean, perhaps instead of focusing on how to relaunch the political agenda, we should focus on the functional, the technical agenda, which is less controversial, and it could actually open the path to a denser cooperation and at the same time avoid conflictive issues. And I would say that there are 3 areas that are of mutual interest to the European Union and Latin America and the Caribbean. These 3 areas are digitalization, the energy system, and entrepreneurship, and in particular, small and medium-sized enterprises. So let me focus briefly on each of these 3 sectors. About digitalization, we should really consider that digitalization is not about our future. It is already about our present. However, we tend to take for granted that digitalization is good and positive. Well, it's not necessarily so. And there are 2 preliminary warnings that I want to share with you. The first is that the positive effects of digitalization shall not be taken for granted, in fact. So there is a dark side of digitalization in terms of job losses, democratic challenges, privacy challenges. The second warning is that the impact of digitalization is felt on community at large in terms of inclusion. If we don't know digitalization techniques, we can remain excluded. In terms of democracy, in the sense that digitalization can actually drive our preferences. So what are my proposals, very technical, for the EU-LAC agenda? First of all, an information campaign to understand that digitalization is about a mindset rather than a set of technical issues only. Second, we could advance towards a single bi-regional digital market. Third, the creation of an EU-LAC search engine advertising manager. That means a platform, any platform, for demand and offer of jobs in the digital sector in the 2 regions to meet. Fourth, a skills for task approach in digital training and education. And fifth, pursue inclusiveness through digitalization. That is, to reach peripheral communities or remote geographical areas, thanks to digitalization. Second area, energy and energy systems. This is something that interests everybody. Energy is a complex issue and generally requires huge investment. But there are also small things that we can do that do not cost much but have potentially high returns. For instance, use algorithms to save energy consumption and optimizing, for instance, timetables of trains or gas pipelines. Second, focus on those renewables that are more convenient to both Europe and Latin America. For instance, wind power energy rather than solar-generated energy. Third, monitor production and consumption price of energy to avoid speculation. The third area is about entrepreneurship and support for small and medium-sized enterprises. This is especially important because over 90% of all companies in Europe and Latin America are in fact SMEs. So we should focus on 5 little things that we can do. First, improve the financing system for small and medium-sized enterprise. Increase the political will to take the green transition forward, which will benefit SMEs. Push for further internationalization and research and development activities of SMEs, especially in times of crisis. Improve the soft skills available within SMEs, like language skills and technical skills. And finally, invest in the tourism sector, which is crucial in both regions. So what can we do to accompany this technical agenda? Well, we can actually support it with political will and political initiatives. That is, a technical agenda may overcome some differences in the big political picture, but political will is absolutely necessary also to the implementation of a technical agenda. Thank you.